I know that America wouldn't just leave the Sahel, leave the west part of the continent just like that. They would want to hang around, okay? And since they know that they can't just pack themselves and leave into a region without having a conversation with that particular region or their leaders, they would take their time. They would try to slow down the Niger government, kicking them out so they can buy time to shift somewhere. And if you watch that video, I said categorically that their eye is in Nigeria. They want to move to Nigeria from Niger. Because logically, when you look at the two countries, they are close, they share borders, they have similar resources. So these are the factors and other factors that sometimes you cannot say. So they have their eye in Nigeria or on Nigeria. And they made the step boldly. And the Nigerian government have been saying for the past 2-3 days, they're saying it's not true. They're trying to debunk the news going around that the US military base will be situated in Nigeria. They want to make the public believe that there was never an attempt, which is not true. Videos are there circulating that there was an attempt made by the United States government. They sent in someone to have a conversation, okay, of the possibility of moving this military base from Niger to Nigeria. Because already the Niger military leaders have said there is no way out. No matter the kind of proposal you're giving to us, we are not accepting anything. You just have to leave us, Your Majesties. And there is a reason why, okay? I think that should be in another video, what really happened that America is finally leaving Niger. Now, what I'm here today to do is that I want to take you through the processes that every country go through when they have a military base. I have done a video like this before, but I want to do this again to remind us and possibly remind our leaders. Okay? Because most of the times, what they tell the public they are not doing is what they are doing behind closed doors. So they might come out and say, no, we are not accepting any base, but they might have made an agreement, sign a deal to bring them in sooner or later. So let us see what a country in the continent of Africa go through when there is a foreign military base in the country. Let's listen to him and we'll take it off from there, Your Majesties.
About foreign military bases on our continent. And I feel sad that Ghana is hosting one of these foreign military bases. Now, if you read the terms under which these military bases are established on our continent, you feel sad. You feel hopeless. In Ghana, we have allowed the United States of America to establish its military base on our soil. Under the agreement which allows the U.S. to establish this military base, our head of state is stopped from entering that territory. The U.S. military base is not accessible even to the head of state. As if that was not enough, in the agreement, we have committed to an arrangement under which if U.S. soldiers come to Ghana and kill Ghanaians, Ghanaians cannot go to court to ask for redress. We have committed ourselves to an arrangement under which property destroyed by U.S. soldiers in Ghana, if your property is destroyed by U.S. soldiers in Ghana, you cannot go to court. We have given our frequencies for the use of the U.S. military for free. Our frequencies are given to the U.S. forces for free. When Ghanaians have to pay millions in order to get frequencies to establish radio stations and television stations and so on, the U.S. can take it for free. Excuse me. Under the agreement, U.S. soldiers entering Ghana are not subject to inspection. They are not subject to search. You can't search them. You can't look through their bags. You can't examine what is on their body. And when they leave, they are also not subject to customs inspection. They cannot be searched. US soldiers do not need passports to enter Ghana. They don't need passports to enter Ghana. All they need is their ID cards. Under these circumstances, we have given US soldiers privileges way and above diplomats. Because even the American ambassador needs a passport to enter Ghana. A US soldier does not need a passport to enter Ghana. In any case, what are these soldiers doing on our continent? What are they doing on our continent? Our leaders must ask themselves some interesting questions. Of course, they say that there's a global village, whatever that means, but they say that there's a global village. If this is a global village as they define, then everybody has interest everywhere. Now, if we decided to station a battalion of the US, of the Ghanaian army in Washington, what would happen? Now, if the US would not allow us to station a battalion in Washington, why do we then allow them to station a battalion on our soil? Ab initio, this arrangement means that we have accepted that we are inferior. And that is one of the reasons why we need to wake up and dismantle these arrangements in order to establish our equality and so on.
All right, Majesties, you have heard that. I won't waste your time, but I want us to take this little time to analyze all what's his name, Kwesi Pratt Jr. had said about the US military base present in a given country. Number one, when a base, a United States military base is present in your country, your head of state do not have access to this base. You get that? The president of your country do not have access to this base. So you have a US military base present, but you don't know what is going on in there because your head of state cannot even access it. So how will the masses access it when the head of state cannot access it? Your Majesty, so they overlook the sovereignty of that particular country. And that's why it goes further to say that they are above the law of a sovereign nation. Number two, they are above the law of a sovereign nation. And that's why number one is justifiable. Because when they are above the law of a sovereign nation, the leader of that nation, they are above the law of that leader. So how would the leader be having access to a place where they are having a sovereignty over? I hope that makes sense. They are above the law of a sovereign country. So if a US military base is now present in Nigeria, Jagaban cannot access. Nothing about Nigeria will have effect on them, but they have everything over Nigeria. They have every power over Nigeria, and Nigeria will never have power over them, over this military base. Number three, free frequencies. Like, we give them access to free frequencies. They tap from our frequencies for free without paying a dime. But you, who is a citizen of that sovereign nation, who have right to those frequencies, have to pay some amount of money, but the US Army will never pay. They won't pay a dime. Number four, they are not subject to search. 4 and 5 is alarming, Your Majesties. Number 4 said they are not subject to search. Like, when you are coming in and going out of a sovereign nation, you will not be searched because you are a US military. Do we understand the gravity of these things? And that's why I felt like brushing our minds again, bringing this up again. I don't know how far this video is going to go. I wanted to share it so it gets to the possible places it needs to go to. If our leaders in our motherland have become, I don't want to use a word that might sound insulting. If our leaders have reached a stage where they feel like we don't have anything to worry about anymore because our families are not in the country, our families are not in the continent, they should fear and respect humanity. These people will never be searched. So whatever they are coming into your country with, you will never know. And this is how the military have been used from ages past to smuggle in drugs, to smuggle in deadly weapons. Because I keep asking this question whenever we talk about insurgencies, we talk about kidnapping and all other things happening down the Sahel, happening in most of the countries in West Africa. The question I keep asking is, this group of rebels, this group of people you call rebels, how do they get their ammunition? How do they get their weapons? It is through means like this. Because the militaries are coming and going, you don't search them. These are how things are smuggled in. And that is why it is this organized body that even sponsor most of these things that go on in countries. Because they want to cause chaos so that they can capitalize in the chaos that they have created. Your Majesties. And then number 5 say that they do not need a passport either to enter the country that they are in, or that they have a base in. They do not need a passport. They are free to move however they want to go to. This is how we are taking over. We think we're living in an age where, oh, there is freedom, there is democracy, we're living in a system where, but we are still slaves. This is the bitter truth that most of us are not accepting. And it is for a fact. Because we have something like this amongst us. And that's why this is not even an option. It's never an option for the African countries. It was never an option, and it's not going to be an option to have military bases in the continent. Like, come on. They even went further. They had the audacity to call they call these operations AFRICOM, where the United States have authority over countries that they rule, countries that they have their presence in. You leave your homeland, your home continent. You are in another man's continent that you are. For what? What are you there for? They claim they are in here for peace. The peace we never had. And will never have as far as their presence is still within the continent. We will never have this peace. There are uncountable numbers of US military bases in the motherland. And when the people want to agitate for them to be kicked out, they keep giving you reasons why they have to stay. Why must it be that way? I keep asking this question. Why will you love Africa when Africa don't want to be loved? It's love by force. Yes, so the love of America and France is by force. This type of love that you cannot, or you must be loved, like they must love you. Oh, we are in here for peace. We are in there for peacekeeping, peacekeeping, peacekeeping. The issue or the situation of the Sahel countries has been an eye-opening for a lot of Africans. That I'm happy about. It's just that some of us are still sleeping. Some of us we are seeing the truth before our eyes, but we do not want to accept the truth for what it is. Your Majesties, you have been in the Sahel. For all these years, all this time, there have been no peace. There have been no peace. And you keep roaming around. When they kick you from one angle, you want to go into the other angle. Why? What is your main aim in the motherland? I don't think you're here for peace. Because if you're here for peace and the people say, okay, go, you would respect yourself. Like self-respect. Respect yourself. Take your things out. Okay? You are the all-powerful America. You respect yourself and move. But no, you want to leave Niger into Nigeria. And we saw this coming. Some of us saw this coming. Because initially when Niger said, America leave, they thought was like, these people will not want to leave the Sahel because of course there is something they are doing there. Now this even proves further that you are not in the continent for peace. This is what is in the minds of a lot of Africans. I'm speaking the minds of some people. Your Majesties, from comments, from what I've seen, you are not in the Sahel for peacekeeping. You are in the Sahel for what you get. And that's why when Niger asks you to leave, you, instead of leaving, you want to look for another place so you could go to. Why can't you pack yourself to your country and work for peace in America? Last time I checked, America still needs peace. America's streets still need peace. Why are you putting your head, even when you are being pushed out, you're still stucking your head in. No, we are not leaving. We must love you. We must love you by force. Love is by force love. Oh, this one, what is the name of this love? I don't know. What is the name of this love that America and the French government are showing to Africa? I don't know what the name of this love is. So, this is it. You heard for yourself. And a lot of the media, the mainstream media have been out there. Oh my goodness, the Nigerian government has said they are not accepting any military base. Or the Nigerian government has said nobody came to them and they talk about having a military base. That one is not true, because we have clips that have been circulating of delegates from the United States who have been conversing with some dignitaries in Nigeria, and they were talking about this same thing, having a military base. And I saw a video for myself where the US delegate was like giving reason, convincing the Nigerian man, the reason why, giving him reasons why there should be a US military base in the country. Oh my goodness, I felt like sharing this with you, Your Majesty, so that in case you have a military base in your country, just know that your president doesn't even have a say. Your president doesn't even know what is going in there. Like, it's more than the sovereignty of a nation. Like, you are a sovereign nation, but you don't have anything. You don't have control over people, over the US base that is in your region. This is just the audacity for me. Like, the audacity. Like, America keep doing the most. You know that. Oh my goodness. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, Your Majesties, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.